Eddie Holt, and my the co-host is KQ. Today, talking about young people rising up. My guest today is Valencia Gregory, my granddaughter, uh, um, tomorrow's leader, uh, college educated, very assertive. And also, you're going to hear from my daughter, Jada. And of course, KQ, going to always talk about what she talk about. And she's putting some videos up so that we can show you some pictures that show. Also, I want to let you guys know, running for agriculture commissioner, Terry Rogers, the second, 18 years old, running for a statewide office. I mean, he's not on a light bearer. He's showing all young people that, hey, you don't have to perpetuate the stereotype. You don't have to do what it is today. Say that we're going to do. You ain't got to live out the song that you listen about or singing about. You can still be productive members of society. And I'm sure he likes rap music, and I'm sure he listened at the same thing a lot of you out there listen at. But one thing I can say about him is that, man, he knows his history. He knows, I mean, it's almost as if he's been preparing for the job, his future all his life. And so we'll talk about him. Maybe he's very busy now. And I can tell you that the city of Clark County, I think that's Quitman, Mississippi, is where he's from. But I can tell you that they are very proud of him. Maybe they were somewhat apprehensive of him first, but to be on the news and have the national media reaching out to him, national folks, representatives and senators are reaching out to him because they want our youth. I mean, they want our youth to do better. We want our youth to do better. And and one thing that indicate that is the fact that these people are calling him and they're setting up interviews. So he's going to be very, very busy. And it was just listening to this podcast and hearing about him. Johnny Magruder, he can't wait to meet him because he said that because of Mr. Magruder, because of this podcast, because of yours truly, that he's, instead of waiting, he's doing this now. And so you out there, if you're 18 years old, you're eligible to run for office in most states, and you should. I mean, you got to. I mean, a lot of things happen to you because you won't get involved and make a difference. So now you had an opportunity to get involved and make a difference in your life. And I can just say that I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of my family. So right now, I have my granddaughter. She wants to talk about coloring. I think that's what she called it. Hey, V.
Hi. Excuse my hair. I was
Oh,
gonna let.
you don't have to apologize. You look wonderful. You're being you, and it looks really nice.
Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to come on and share my gift of my voice to the world. What dark skinned women go through on a daily. I know we had a conversation about this at dinner a couple of weeks ago, but I
Right.
just wanted to, like, you educate me. I wanted to also educate you on some things. So I recently watched a podcast, Megan James and a rapper, Mona Leo. They
Mhm.
went into some details about, colorist and reverse
Why don't you,
colorism.
excuse me, why
Hmm.
don't you explain? First, I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself, your education, your age, and your goals if you want to, but also explain
Hmm.
to them what do you mean by coloring.
Okay, well, to start off, my name is Venicia Gregory. I'm 21 years old, Mississippi resident. My goals in life, I want to be just like my granddad. That's my number one goal. I want to be able to speak facts right off my dome. I mean, I look up to you, granddad. You know this already.
Well, thank
And another one of my goals are I want to have a podcast like this. I know I have a fear of public speaking, but with the internet and with young people, I feel like the internet gives us, you know, lets us clear the fear and we be able to speak our mind just like this. But
you.
another one of my goals is I want to be able to, hi Candace. I want
Okay.
to I want to be able to have my mom not worrying about what she worries about. I just want her to be comfortable. I appreciate my mother so much. Those are just some of my goals. And I graduated Jones Community College with a journalist degree. And I kind of got off of going to school, but I'm going to get back in school now that I'm back home and not in Atlanta where I was just distracted. But I'm back home and I plan to go to USM this fall.
Okay, now
And
tell us, explain coloring, define it as you know it.
colorist. Okay, colorist is like, I don't want to say the wrong meaning, so I'm going to say my meaning. Colorist is like a kind, what's the word am I looking for?
Let me, perhaps I can help you out a little bit.
Please
Uh,
help me.
yeah, the term colorist, coloring, the way my granddaughter defined it is a form of discrimination. Whereas people
Discrimination.
that are dark skinned are treated fairly. As
Uh-huh.
light skinned people seem to have an advantage in America
Yes.
now. And I kind of I mean, I guess you can look at that coin as being two-sided, whereas
Mhm.
I could pose an argument for or against. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna listen at my granddaughter explain it now, but it's a form of discrimination. People that are light skinned such as KQ, now I would consider my granddaughter myself somewhat light skinned. Now you know, like light skin was not in when we was coming up. I'm just
Mhm.
telling you, it was not in, but now it seemed to be favored. I'll let you
Yes,
go.
discrimination. That was the word that I was looking for against dark skinned women. And I don't feel like I'm light skinned. I'm gonna be honest. I do not feel like I'm light skinned because I don't have that advantage. When I went to West Jones High School, I had a lot of colorist discrimination against me. You know, I got called Blackie at West Jones, of course, by the white people, not by black people, but I got called Darky. I was the only black girl on the cheer squad in 2014 to 2015. And it was the worst years of my life because I had to deal with not being able to fit in with the white girls on my team because I was black and not being able to fit in with the black people because I was hanging out with white people, but I got
You were different.
different. Yeah, so I
You
was in
were
the
you were
I,
different. You were not doing the hood, not hanging out. So you took control and you
mhm,
goal oriented, and you still are. You know, you're 21. You already have 2 years of college under your degree and under
mhm,
your belt, and you're getting ready to continue your education and get your bachelor's in journalism. Am I
mhm.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good.
But
And
you can continue. I'm sorry,
Q, what
continue.
do you think about that? Let's let Q come in there.
Okay.
What do you think about color? Has your skin color made a difference for you? Do you think it has been an advantage or a disadvantage?
It's mine. I mean, for me, it's kind of been a disadvantage because, like, but at this, I don't really know because I can't really say because I haven't experienced it. But like, I have kind of been in situations like where the black kids didn't like me because I always like I hung out with the white kids or I just like I've
Mhm.
been in that situation, but
Proper
I've
light skin.
I've been in that situation, but I've never had nobody just like call me out my name. Like they'll
Yeah,
just
I
be like,
have.
oh,
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, you just think you all that just because you like. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Brain power makes a difference. I think brain power transcends color because, like, and we have to be careful, regardless of what color we are, because of our color. If we're highly intelligent, then they're gonna use us and manipulate us for our intelligence. They want us to be
mm,
their token, no matter what color we are. And we're gonna have Jada come on. She hadn't sounded on yet, but I want to talk to you about that. We're gonna have Jada come on because Jada experienced a situation in Tuscaloosa County. And if you look at the news at ABC 3340, if you
Mhm.
Google that, and you'll see where they're having a problem. And Ron DeSantis, I want to say this about Donald Trump and people like Ron DeSantis. As a and what it meant, Mallory Taylor Greene, MTG. I think that the problem is when you use race, or either you use one group and put that group against another group, or either rise up on the back of anybody, regardless of what color they are. I think that's wrong. But I got to say this about Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but Donald Trump, I can't look at all the things that he's done and everybody focus. I think it's too much focusing on. I think they done got away from the duty of the country. Let's get things done. I think they focus on too much trying to tear each other down, and we got to get away from that. But Donald Trump, in my opinion, done more for, especially for Black people, than any other president. I've talked about it before, but I can just say that he done more in the country than any other president. I mean, you can go and talk about what Barack Obama did. We have bragging right based on his color. You can see that he was half white or half Black because he was either one way or the other. But the thing of it is that you can't, according to the Constitution, if you just got any percentage of blood in you that's Negroid, then that's what you are. And so while he's half white, but he's classified as an African American. But anyway, the coloring thing, it's pretty good. I wish your mother would have been on here to talk about.
Yeah, mom had to post.
What's your mom's opinion?
Mom does not think colorist is real. I'm not gonna say she doesn't think colorist is real. She thinks that dark-skinned women have the same, light-skinned women has the same what's the word? You just said it. I'm kind of nervous.
Disadvantages.
Yeah, disadvantages as as dark-skinned women.
She said in other words, there's no differentiation between the two colors.
Yeah, but I have a very negative opinion about that because I feel like that's reverse colorist. And just like I don't believe in reverse racism, I don't believe in reverse colorism.
Explain that. When you talk about these terms, explain what you mean when you say you don't believe in reverse racism.
I don't believe in reverse racism because white people do, to me, in my opinion, let me just say this is my opinion, but I don't believe in reverse racism because I don't feel like white people have a systematic advantage against Black people. Like we don't have no systematic.
When you say reverse racism is when a white person is treated unfairly, so they call it reverse racism, and you don't believe in that.
Or when like the N word with the hard R, they feel like cracker is the same thing as the N word with the hard R, and I just don't agree with that. Like y'all, cracker comes from the slaves calling the white people cracker because the whip cracks. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't believe that's the same thing because to this day we're still being called niggers. Like I've been called, me and my mother got called a nigger in Waffle House like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that, and that, even though that affects me because I'm Black, I'm a Black queer woman and I don't want to be called a nigger. Just if I don't want to be called a nigger, you should not call me a nigger. And I'm sorry, Granddad, I'm kind of nervous.
I understand, and that's okay. And I'm listening to you, and it's very good. And I understand that. Another thing too is that when you talk about when a white person is treated badly, I don't really believe affirmative action was necessary, and sometimes it's necessary now. But I think that anybody should get a job based on their qualifications, regardless of the color of their skin, whether they're white, Black, or anything. I think that we gotta for us, but baby, I'm gonna treat you special. I have certain deference for you, and so that's understood. So I don't expect things to be equal. I just expect it to be fair.
Correct.
And that's what we all want. And we don't. And I have a friend. I have white friends, and sometimes they said it in wrong. Like one of them one time, I ain't gonna call his name. Some time ago, said sand nigger. I really had a problem with that, and he laughed and thought it was okay. It might be okay for you to say the N word to maybe your buddies when y'all at the comedy club or country club or wherever it is that you are, but it's not okay for you to say that to your Black friend. It's just not okay. Your Black friend might not say anything, but it's not okay. It's never gonna be okay. Even the jokes, if it's a joke that's demeaning to Black people and the N word is being used, even if another Black person say it, then it's okay if we maybe we at a comedy club okay if they're saying that, but it's not okay if a white person come back and tell me that joke that they heard a black person say and using the N-word. It's not okay. And I think that's what you're saying. But you're a double minority, female and black. But then a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. But you are treated unfairly because of the color of your skin. You are treated unfairly because you're a female. And I don't even know what to say about the black male. Well, I'm gonna say that we're a triple minority because it's hard to find a black woman that's gonna be supportive of the black male, because from that very thing that you're talking about, from slavery, from just they set up a system in America where the most black people were sent to ghettos and corralled into public housing by railroad tracks and ditches and things like that. And some of you that are my age, and you can go and see that to this day, when you see black communities going to be by railroad tracks, they're going to be by interstates, they're going to be by ditches and things like that. That's intentional. And I mean, like when you have plans and these type things. So, and even welfare was created during World War II for white mothers. But then of course, I can remember your grandmother, Minnie Hope. She could not have a man in home. You could not be on welfare and have a man at home. See, that automatically disrupt the black family. The black male had to sneak in at night or either leave and go somewhere else and have another family. So all these things. And so, yes, it's systemic. It's not the same thing. There's no such thing as reverse discrimination. Those are just clever concepts used by them in order to get a special deference for themselves or either to discriminate against us more so.
Like, did you see it's going around on Twitter that I'm not going to say the white people, that white people they feel offended about the new episode of the Proud Family, because the Proud Family basically said that, they talked about slavery and said that the slaves build America. And they're trying to get that show boycotted because of that. And I don't agree with that, because every time we talk about our trauma, it's automatically, anti-white, or like we're making white people feel uncomfortable by saying what our ancestors went through. And, that's why I don't want to say that
It's ironic that you said that. I'm gonna let KQ, when you finish up what you're saying, I want KQ to come on and play that. Your aunt Jada experienced it at her school just recently. So Q, get ready to play the sound bite from ABC 3340, I think what it is. You ready, Q? Okay, are you ready? Or do you have?
History is history, and it's already been made, and it can't be erased.
More than 200 students at Hillcrest High walked out of school today because they say they were told to censor their Black History Month program. ABC 3340's Megan Scarano is on the story tonight. She joins us live from Hillcrest High. Megan, what did students say they couldn't include in that program?
Brenda, the walkout lasted about an hour here this morning at Hillcrest High, and students on the board of the Black History Month program say that they were told that they had to leave out topics like the civil rights movement and slavery from this year's program. And it's something that the students tell me is insulting and out of line.
I think this walkout stands for how passionate I am about having this Black History Month program. It's everything to me.
Jemiah Brown organized the walkout at Hillcrest High, and all of these students supported her. She says the demonstration was in response to what the students in charge of putting on the program were told by an administrator.
We were told that we could not talk about slavery in the civil rights movement because one of our administrators felt uncomfortable.
But admitting vital parts of history didn't sit well with the students involved with the Black History Month program.
My protector from 8 a.m. to 3:15, for you to tell me that I can't talk about something that is dealing with my culture is very disturbing, is very confusing.
Why am I being censored about my culture? Something that is rooted in me. Why can't I talk about it?
I reached out to Hillcrest High School for more answers about the direction students were given. I was told to contact the Tuscaloosa County School System. They sent us this statement, reading in part, "We are putting together a plan to make sure our students feel heard so that we know the right steps to put in place to ensure all students know that they are valued." Hillcrest High School students reached out to their local NAA.
You could talk about Black history in this country without talking about slavery or the civil rights movement.
Wow.
I mean, I can just tell you, just you know, she was talking to me. I was aware of it when it first happened. She asked my advice, and I got to tell you, and those of you that are looking out there, you got to be proud of these young students. I mean, and Ron DeSantis started this, and of course, other people like him. And our history is true. It's part of our collective consciousness. It's things that we experience that we don't understand and we don't know because it's a part of our collective consciousness. And because that you want to deny that we're human, because you want to deny that we are a person, because you want to deny that we are an individual, or that you still want to look at us being 1/3 of a person or 3/5 of a person or less than human or some kind of animal. See, all of that is a part of your collective consciousness. And when I say you, I'm talking about white folks. That's a part of your collective consciousness when you want to talk about reverse racism and you want us not to talk about our history, when you want to tell us that if you do this, then we're not going to allow for the program. Those young people stood up. You're talking about 17 and 18-year-old students stood up for themselves. See, black folks, people that are standing in the way. You know who you are. You're standing in the way of young folks because you won't give them the opportunity to be leaders. Those students did that better than I could have did it. See, I'm just telling you. Isn't that and Q, what's your take on that? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, my take on it is like, I mean, that I would have done the same thing, because why would somebody in their right mind sit, like, you know, just be like, okay, I'm gonna take this out of the program, knowing that it's a part of, like, you know, our collective conscious and our history. So why wouldn't they want somebody to know about that? Why wouldn't they want people to know about that? So I feel like they did the right thing.
And I'm proud of these. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And I'm proud of these young students because young people today, the older generations don't take us serious. And I'm glad that I'm actually very proud of them. It's almost tear-dropping that they did that, because they did something right. Because all of the older generations, they don't take us seriously. They only see us as, you know, something that's going to tear this generation down. But just like the Black Lives Matter movement that happened in 2020, those kids were willing, our generation was willing to go out there and mock the cops, you know, get tear gas,
risk their lives, basically.
Risk their lives for Black Lives Matter. And I'm just so proud of that.
And I gotta say that I am too. And you can see normally when something like this going on, you can look at the lady from the NAACP. She was it's good that she was there, but she's a relic of the past. It's time for her to step aside and let those young people become leaders of the NAACP. See, look how they were very eloquent. They were very voiceful. They spoke intelligently. They didn't have a problem formulating their thoughts and their ideas. We got to let you guys take over. We got to. And I mean, I'm just proud of all of you. I am. Look at you two and look at me. And I don't mind. I'm proud of you. I'm just telling you, I'm proud of those young people. I felt good. And then Jada Hope, y'all seen the last name? That's my daughter. That's my daughter. That's your aunt, and you're older than she is, you know, because dad ain't stopped yet. Anyway, and this is my wife, right? Well, I'm pointing the wrong way, but that's my wife. Q, hold your hand up, sir. That's Mrs. Hope. That's not Miss Hope. That's Mrs. Hope. That's my wife. So you know, and then, but I am so proud of you guys. I really am. And I'm just proud of you because you're standing up. I'm proud of you because of what you're doing. I'm proud of you for your accomplishment. I am so proud of those young people. Q, send Jada or call Jada up and let's send her a link again. Tell her we need her, even if it's on her iPhone. Tell her we need for her to come and talk to the people and let them know. And I can say this, that the administrator was an assistant principal. She was a white female, and she was very, very Subtle. She called each student in one at a time. She was smart enough not to allow for them to come in as a group and tell them what to do. She called them in one at a time. And so when they rose up about it, she had like she didn't say anything. And so then they still started giving them things. They said, okay, well, we're going to have a program. This one girl can't be in it because she got wrote up one time.
Yeah.
And a student that's getting ready to graduate, but because she can't be in. So, but now and then they say, we're not going to even do this next year. See, so they look for a reason to deny our history. But it was your ancestors that did this to us, your ancestors. And to this day, you talk about the Jews and the Holocaust. It ain't no Holocaust worse than Black people. 400 years of slavery, 400 years of indigenous servitude, 400 years of and we are still experiencing that. And then you got people like Amy Carter, Meridian, Mississippi, that's a superintendent of a failing school system that has been like that for years. I'm talking about when you were there, I think she was there. And it's been an F since. And look at you, you've already graduated from college. And so it was a failing school system. And so it's by design. They don't want you. They don't want my daughter. They don't want those other children. They don't want the young people, not young Black people, because they're a privatized prison. They're not going to send their children. Folks, you got to follow the money. You got to look at this thing from a holistic perspective. You cannot be narrow-minded. You got to rise up on the mountaintop and see everything. I'm so proud of you, granddaughter. Is there anything else you want to say?
Oh, no, I don't have anything else to say. I want to say that I'm proud of Jada. I wish I could say, stay on and talk to her, but I'm so proud of what she did. And she will always get, the 100% for me.
I can tell you this is that she has a full ride scholarship from Tuskegee Institute already. She already getting all kind of offers from UAB and all the colleges, because not only people that my daughter is an A student, she's already a member of Hillcrest Honor Society, or some other honor society. She ran track. Also, she was a cheerleader. She also was on the dance line. So she did all of these things and still managed to maintain honor status. And then look at her speak up. I mean, wow, you cannot be. Look, remember granddaughter, leaders are made. Leaders are made. They're not born, they're made, and it takes incidents like that. You just seen 3 leaders of tomorrow. Now, actually, I'm looking at 5. I'm looking at you, I'm looking at KQ, I'm looking at those 3 people, and then they're the 3 that stood up. Those are the 3 that put their necks on the line. Those are the 3, because when you stand up for, look what happened to your granddad. Look how they came after me because I was pointing out the wrong in that administration, but they had the key to the store. And so Percy Bland, the ex-mayor of Meridian, used he used his police force. He used his entire administration to bring up Trump charges against us and destroy anybody that did not advocate him being reelected. And I didn't do that. Well, I'm so glad for you to have joined. Make sure you send this out and tell everybody to subscribe. I want you to subscribe. Tell everybody to subscribe, and tell everybody they need to stand up like those 3 students did there. And it was more than them. You have those that did now, but you seen all those people there, and it was some white people there. It was some white folk there.
It's good. I like to see the white people stand up for us too.
Yeah. And when you stand up for what's right, you're standing up for what's right for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Tell your mom I love her, and bye.
Bye.
Q. What is it is it anything that you want? Oh, look. Now look at me. I'm a good looking man, but I have a beautiful wife.
The washer,
she have a beautiful man.
The washer's on in the background, so.
Oh, we really can't hear that. We know how it is. Folks, I gotta tell y'all some. Yeah. Is it anything in the news, anything that you want to put in? What's up with Jada? Is Jada gonna come on or
I tried to call her. She didn't answer, so.
Okay, well, folks, I want to tell y'all this. I still put the picture of Terry Rogers up where he looked like the president of the United States. Put that picture
tried
up.
to get that picture, but
I can't hear you.
I said I tried
to. Is it
I couldn't. I only got that group picture. I couldn't get it off the website.
Okay, well, put the group picture up. Look at, and this is Terry Rogers here in the center right here. That's Ramonda Walker. That's Cedric Ruffin. He's some kin to the Temptation. That's Ted Reynolds. Y'all know who that is. That's Joe Norwood. And I think this is Mr. Trout, and that's Ted Reynolds right there. This person here, I don't know who that is. They could probably gonna get mad at me because I ain't gonna know who they are. But that's Terry Rogers II. And I tell you folks, I am really proud of him because he is really, he's in the making. He's gonna be, I mean, this guy's 18 years old and already running for Agriculture Commissioner, statewide office. But anyway, Q, you can take that down and put, folks, I want to tell y'all is that the Court of Appeal, Federal Appeal Courts, struck down domestic violence gun laws. If you've been convicted of domestic violence, you cannot have a gun or carry a gun. If you get caught with one, they'll charge you with a felony. The federal court struck it down, and it affected Mississippi, Alabama, and Texas. See, so what they were saying that if you was charged with domestic violence or convicted of domestic violence, that you couldn't carry a gun and you couldn't have one. If you had one, how about they struck it down? And another thing they had too, if you got possession of marijuana, you can't own a gun, and they struck that down also. Another court judge, federal judge, struck that down, or judge struck that down. So these are good things. So if you out there and you have, if the police in Meridian, Mississippi see you with a gun and they know you've been charged with domestic violence, they could have charged you, but they can't do that now because it was struck down. And of course, the Attorney General, I think his name Garland of the United States, telling me he's going to appeal it. See, that's what's wrong with America, folks, is that we want to appeal the wrong thing. Look how the Speaker of the House is attacking Biden. It's just too much of that going on. We can't get nothing done in America because the Democrats against the Republicans against the Democrat. Y'all, come on now. And then sending all this money, making Zelensky, whoever the hell he is, like he's some kind of post. Folks, it's all about the industrial. It's the military complex, what they call it. The military complex, the people, they want to run that. They want to make money off weapons and guns and things like that. They have $400 million. The tanks that they're sending to Ukraine is cost the United States more than $400 million. Do you know what they can do with $400 million? Well, I was brought up to clean my house up before I clean somebody. All the problems we have in America, if we stop sending money to other countries, we just gotta stop doing it. It doesn't make any sense. We send them. You got to ask yourself, why is America sending all of this money, spending all this money? It's the Western nations that are doing that. How is it that you hate Russia? What have Russia done to America? What has Russia done to you? Nothing. What has Russia done to a black person? Nothing. What has Russia done to the white folk? Nothing. What has Russia done to America? Nothing. But they do that. The media. We need to stop watching MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, and all that shit because it ain't nothing but bullshit. It ain't nothing but damn propaganda. They telling you what you need to know. They telling you what they want. They'll manipulate you. When you see something so much, it's implanted in your mind. Russia has been vilified. When there's a war, and Russia's always, every time you go and you see gangster movies and things like this, there's always a Russian that's the gangster. But all these gangsters in America, you look at the American prison, it's filled with Americans, not Russian. Maybe it's a few Russians in there, maybe a few. It would be immeasurable the amount of Russians that's in American prison. And look at all the gangsters that's in there. Look at all the murderers and robbers. They are Americans, but you look at any movie that you watch, they always vilify a Russian. Always the gangster is always a Russian or from some other foreign country. But why fall for that? Why fall? Russia is not our enemy. China is not our enemy. What has the Chinese people done to America? To you? Nothing. They have not done anything to black folks. They haven't done anything to white folks, any other people of color. The Chinese people have, but they vilify the Chinese people. Why do we have to keep? If we all would just get along, if we was to stick to tend to your own damn business and stay out of mine. That's what America need to do. America need to be told. America's mama need to whoop America's ass. America's mama need to tell America, tend to your business and stop worrying about other folks' business. If we was to tend to our business, it'll be a whole lot better in America. Creating all these laws and all these things, man, and then let people smoke what they want to smoke and drink what they want to drink. How you gonna send somebody to prison for drinking or smoking, doing something? This is an individual and it's personal. It's personal if I want to smoke crack. It's personal if I want to shoot a needle in my arm. Who am I hurting if I shoot a needle in my arm? You can't feel it. You ain't going to feel the high. It ain't costing you no money. Now, if I go and rob a store or something like that, now you can punish me for robbing. But you should not. No one should go to jail for any time using drugs or anything like that. They should not. But anytime you hurt someone or you take something that don't belong to you, you should pay for that. Q, I'm finna bring you in there, girl. What it is that you want to say about that?
Well, I gotta say you're right about that. You know that everybody, including the United States of America, should mind their own business.
Yeah.
Because
and we spend a lot of money tending to other folks, been making Russia the enemy, making what has North Korea did to America?
Exactly. That's why
Nothing.
I said.
Not one thing. North Korea has not done anything to America. North Korea has not done anything to white folks or black folks. Hadn't done anything. But we vilify. And then guess what? Everybody in America hate Russians. Everybody in America hate Chinese people. Everybody in America hate the North Koreans. Everybody in America hate whoever the United States government and the American media portray as being our enemies. Then you believe that. Then you need to ask yourself, what have they done? Now they went into that building now that they did something to us, so we fought back. But killing Saddam Hussein and Omar Gaddafi, they did so. Those were American allies, and it wasn't about that. And George Bush Jr. said they have weapons of mass. So if they got them, you got them. So they got them. Israel got them. You ain't went over there and killed the prime minister of Israel. Israel got them. England got them. France got them. Italy got them. All the countries that's in the United Nations got them. You ain't went over there and killed them. What's wrong with the Pakistanians? What's wrong with Iran, Iraq? What's wrong with Kuwait? Those other countries over there? What's wrong with them having weapons of mass destruction when you have them too? See, that's what you call bigotry. That's where it's not. That's where the unfairness is. Why? Who the hell are we? We're not God. This is not God country. Too much goes on in this country for you to say this is God country. Man, I'd be done made my blood pressure rise up. Hey, I've been working in Meridian, and I can tell you, I went to that mall. Two-Bell said, "Bro, how did you do that?" I went to that mall, but it's like a ghost town. It's a ghost town, folks. When you go, it's Meridian Mall now, but it used to be Monita Lane. You can change. You need to change it to a dying mall, dead. It's on Mall. That's what you need to change. But let me tell you what happened, folks. See, Meridian Mall is the only mall that I know of that they try to tell you how to dress. You can't go in there if you have to have an adult with you if you're under 18 years of age. You cannot have on certain hats. You can't wear certain colors. You can't have pants hanging down. No other mall. Do you know that black people are the #1 consumer in America? We spend all our money on clothes and shoes and shit, and that's all malls sell. You done ran away the people, the very people that gonna keep your mall going. My son said he ain't been there in 2 years. And my son loved to buy clothes. I go to the mall and every other place, and I see people in all kind of hats. I see, you could call them gang members if you want to. I say the United States government is a gang. The CIA is a gang. The FBI is a gang. The Masons are a gang. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, those are a gang. Anytime a group of people come together with a common idea, that makes it a gang. But Meridian, I got to tell you, leaders of Meridian, you killed them all. Now, I got to tell y'all now. Black folks did that. Black Democrat. There y'all go again, following the Democrats blindly. But they did that because you got a situation where the majority of the city council has been black for a long time in Meridian, Mississippi. And the time that they made that rule where you couldn't go in there with your pants hanging down, they got good business in the mall then. And look at it now. See how black people don't support their own kind. Black people try to hurt their own kind. Black people do not allow for young black folks to come up. And I'm going to tell you now, they disappointed in those 3 young people that's in Tuscaloosa County. But see, now my daughter got all those things. They expected my daughter to be just, she's not going to, because her collective consciousness is a part of that's my offspring. And I told y'all how we've had, in my ancestors, from slavery, escaped from Sumter County, Alabama, Choctaw County, Alabama, and Marengo County, Alabama, those areas there. Folks, if you want to know what it was like then, go into the deepest parts of the wood where briar patches and bushes is, where there's no lights at. That's how it was then. There was no highways, there was no roads, there was no path. Just think about the intelligence and the perseverance they had to have, the fortitude they had to have to escape from slavery and then travel to the north and bypass all of those different Confederate soldiers to get to northern soldiers and join the Civil War and fought in it and survived as Donalds and Harry. That's a part of Jada's heritage. And so naturally, she's not going to fold up and fall down. And then she's highly intelligent. But anyway, folks, I appreciate you guys listening and everything. I want to tell y'all that we have a program at the Greater Mount Hermon Baptist Church. It's a singing program. If you want to hit Two-Bell can sing, and I tell you, that boy can move too. Q, come back in. Two-Bell can sing. And I tell y'all, y'all going to have, you got Michael Carlisle. You got Michael Carlisle. The minister of music on keyboard. You want to see? I'm finna do this for y'all. I'm finna do it. That's how he played bass. And of course, you know, I'm on guitar. And when he does that, he's feeling it so. And then you got Chris. Chris is about 13 or 14 or 15 years old. And he plays drums. He plays drums better than a lot of people. And so you have the First Lady, Eddie Cole, and then you have the pastor, Reverend Angelo Leo Cole. And so it's a small congregation, but I tell you, that Mount Hermon choir is hot. You guys need to come. And so we invite you guys to come there and bring your whatever it is, kind of entertainment you want to do, praise God, and do it. You know, this month, that's about 2 Sundays from now at 2:30, and that's 1702 9th Avenue, Meridian, Mississippi. But so I want you guys to, Q getting ready to read the comments. I want you guys to subscribe. I want you to like us and tell somebody and tell us about it. And folks, I got to tell you is that I've been getting people been calling me and telling me about the code enforcement in Meridian, Mississippi. And I think that I had a situation and you can go around and see where they have selective enforcement of the law. But I can tell you this is that I think that if any of you are having problems out there, I think the first step is for you to go to the community development person. If that doesn't, that's Craig Head. He's the director. I think that's what he's called, community. Community development director, Craig Head. Go to him and complain. And also, if that don't work, then go before the city council and speak. And if that don't work, then file a lawsuit against. Go to the county. You can always when you complain. So always do them when it first to straighten it up. See that you're being treated wrong. Do so. Okay, Q, are you ready to read those comments? Q, then come on. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Q. Read Q. I'm gonna take your mouse now. Read the comment.
I don't know how to say their name, but Tiz Ease, I don't know how to say it, said good evening. And then also 90 said they are scared.
That's Thais Ease.
It said they are scared. They are scared. They are scared of the fact that Black people are learning more about our history. They know that they are guilty of discrimination and racism.
And by denying something doesn't mean that it has not happened. The only thing it does is delay the inevitable. And people, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I want to thank you for listening. Tell somebody to tell somebody. I want to say hello to my friend out in Las Vegas, George, and all of you out there that are listening and everything. And I want y'all have a good evening. Tell them bye, Q. Bye.